Welcome to the On Deck podcast, presented by LineStar. I'm Shannon Sommerville, here with Tyler Wiemann, about to break down some daily fantasy baseball for you today. It is Thursday, June 30th. Can't believe it's already June 30th. Getting into 4th of July weekend here. And June 30th is also National Bomb Pop Day. Do you guys remember the firecracker?
I do. This 4th of July looking.
Getting ready for the 4th.
Right? Yeah.
So that led me to the question, what was your favorite Little League snack bar snack? So I don't know if you had the tradition in Little League to go visit the snack bar after the game and you got a free snack. What was yours?
Gotta go Big League Chew.
Oh, Big League Chew?
Yeah. Gotta do Big League Chew.
I would always go Italian Ice, and then, you'd flip it over. Do you remember the Italian Ices?
I don't remember that one,
And the best part's at the bottom of the Italian Ice, and you would try to flip it over.
Yep,
Anyways,
don't remember it.
Lots of nostalgia there.
I guess I missed out
Let
on
us
Italian
know what
Ice.
your favorite snack was in the comments below. We've also got a storyline to get to today, which was kind of crazy.
Poor
Some
Freddie
news
Freeman.
broke yesterday. So Freddie Freeman went to Atlanta this weekend. His first time back in Atlanta. Got a nice standing ovation. Very emotional for him. And then fired his agent, Casey Close. Now, the plot thickens because according to Doug Gottlieb, Freddie Freeman found out this weekend that Close never told him about the Braves' final offer because he knew Freeman would take the deal.
Yeah.
Which is, to me, absolutely wild. Apparently, it's more common in baseball than you think. I thought
it's crazy
thought
too
it was
because
illegal to do something like that.
He's been with Close for a long time, and I seeing how Freddie Freeman kind of reacted in Atlanta. It's like he
Something
obviously still wanted to be there. He also took a little less money to go to the Dodgers. There's a lot of things that just don't really make sense here.
Yeah, doesn't add up. Well, Close has denied this.
Poor Freeman, and yes, Close has denied it. He came out strongly saying
true.
It's not
They're
true.
actually looking at legal action against, I guess, for even suggesting that he didn't tell him about the deal. Nonetheless, I think it's kind of interesting. I mean, okay, I watch a lot of Law and Order.
Oh boy!
So that makes me an expert,
Obviously.
And
watch Judge Judy next.
But in Law and Order, the lawyer always has to take the offer, whatever it is, to the client every single time. But I guess agents maybe don't have to abide by the same standards. I don't know, but
I think he would have the fiduciary responsibility to do that. So if he didn't, he's probably in the wrong here.
Be on the hook for some money.
There's got to be something here that's kind of not.
We don't know all the facts yet.
Yeah.
But the plot thickens.
Poor Freddie Freeman.
I know. And as a Padres fan, you probably empathize with him having to be with the Dodgers now.
Yes. However, if they got Matt Olson, it's like we'd kind of be in the same spot.
All right. So that's enough of our storylines for today. We'll follow that, though. Let's get to today's slate. We've got a few weather notes for you. Good weather notes for hitters. Yes, we love that. 87 degrees at Citizens Bank Park for the Braves game there. Cincinnati at Chicago. Winds blowing out to left center at 15 miles an hour at the start of the game at Wrigley Field. It's going to be 87 degrees there. Going to be awesome.
Nice little hitting weather.
And if you haven't already, be sure to check out our Park Factors video where I go over every single ballpark and tell you, how weather impacts them, everything you need to know about that ballpark and kind of how it plays for your daily fantasy and also if you're placing any prop bets. So be sure to check that out if you haven't. And as always, be sure to like and subscribe and comment below. You got to tell us your favorite Little League snack. So let's get to today's chalk report. We're going to start with our high-owned pitchers for today, and we're going to start with Phillies righty Aaron Nola going up against the Braves today. 42% owned on DraftKings, 2.98 ERA, which ranks 20th, 2.10 opponent average. Last game, just one earned run in 7 innings against the Padres. He had 10 punch-outs in that game, so I can see why Aaron Nola is high-owned for today.
Yeah, and unfortunately, FanDuel and DraftKings kind of split up the slate, so This game isn't on FanDuel, but he's coming in as our top LineStar value play at a 10K salary, which kind of tells you all you need to know about one, pitching today, and two, what we think of Aaron Nola. Obviously, he's a great pitcher. I wouldn't be surprised if the ownership actually comes in higher than what we're seeing here at 42% after kind of looking through the rest of the pitchers. We know there's major upside. He can strike anyone out, and Atlanta is prone to striking out. However, there is some downside risk. In 189 plate attempts, the Braves are hitting 253 with 12 home runs and a 264 ISO, so they have hit him hard in the past, but he's also had very good games, like he did a week or two ago against Atlanta in Atlanta.
Sure.
And his K line's pretty high today at 7.5. So I get why people are going here. He's the best pitcher on the slate, highest upside.
All right, let's take a look at Mariners righty Logan Gilbert going up against the A's today. 42% owned on DraftKings and FanDuel. 2.44 ERA, that ranks 9th in Major League Baseball, and a 2.20 opponent average. Last game, he did give up 2 bombs against the Angels, but he still managed to get 7 strikeouts and the win in that game. So going up against an A's team that usually pretty anemic when it comes to hitting, and they do strike out a lot from what I watched.
And he's a solid pitcher and a great matchup. We've talked almost every single day about Oakland versus righties. Kind of just got to play and pray on them. He has a 4-star alert score, 23.5 combined K rate. He has the second LineStar value projection for pitchers, so everything looks good for him as well.
Nice. And then we go to Yankees. Luis Severino going up against the Astros. 34% owned on DraftKings. 3.38 ERA, 2.11 opponent average. And last time against Houston, he did give up 3 earned runs and 1 home run. He did have 7 strikeouts, though. And he's been solid for the Yankees.
Yeah, he has been. Of these 3 high-owned guys, though, LineStar is definitely liking him the least.
Yeah, I could see that.
He only has a 3-star alert score, which is just kind of middle of the road. It's meh. But we do have a 28.4% combined K rate. So we are showing that he has some pretty high K upside if he's, able to show that today. I think this is likely due to Severino's last 5 games where he has a 37% K rate over that time. Mm-hmm. So it's really, you're getting less ownership, but there is some pretty high upside, but it's a good team you're going against. Personally, I never like going against Houston. One thing I would kind of keep an eye on is if Alvarez is in the lineup or not. He did have that kind of ugly collision yesterday. If he takes a day off to heal up, that lineup is much worse.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's get to our low-owned pitchers for today. And surprised to see a Cy Young candidate basically on our low-owned slate for today, but he is. Joe Musgrove.
He is versus the Dodgers.
Going up against the Dodgers.
Yep.
24% owned on DraftKings. He is 41% owned on FanDuel. 2.12 ERA, 2.03 opponent average. Just awesome numbers. He hadn't given up more than 2 runs before the last game. He did get shelled. 6 earned runs to the Phillies, including 2 bombs, just 1 strikeout. So had a pretty rough game. Is today a bounce back game?
Before that game, he did have 5 straight outings of being in the perfect lineup. So he has been very good all season. I think he is going to bounce back. One thing that was surprising to me is he has a 4.5 alert start rating today.
Wow.
Going against the Dodgers. Yes. And I think it's, Dodgers are going to be out without Mookie Betts again today. And that lineup, especially the second half of the lineup, just isn't that scary. Mm-hmm. So if he's able to, kind of keep Freeman, Turner, and whatnot down, then he could be in for a really good day. Combined K rate is 23.2. He has excellent StatCast data. The other thing is with the projected lineup and 98 plate attempts, they are hitting 293 off him.
Okay.
So that's a little worrisome. However, that data does go back a few years. And the last 2 years, he has been a much better pitcher than he was.
Are you looking forward to this matchup? As
Yes.
a Padres fan?
I want to see a Dodgers get swept.
Should be a good one, though. I'm excited to see
Hey,
that
it's
one.
going to be a fun weekend.
As a just innocent bystander with no...
Just hopefully Olivia is taking
no skin in
another
the game.
photo of her being all excited after a Padres win.
I kind of hope for it.
Yeah.
I would like to see that. All right, let's talk about Brewers righty Adrian Hauser going up against the Pirates today. 7% owned on DraftKings, 2% owned on FanDuel. So some very low ownership numbers there.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a 4.5 ERA, 265 opponent average, so above average in both of those categories. But the Pirates do have the third lowest batting average in baseball right now, even though you might think it's a little higher because they have all those fun young stars that are coming up, but they still have the third lowest batting average.
And they've been striking out a ton over the last month. So that's really what this is. It's one picking on the Pirates. Hauser is actually a decent pitcher. He does have a 3.48 FIP on the year, and he is super cheap. Nice. So it is one picking on Pirates and going with a pitcher that's probably a little underpriced, 22% combined K rate. He has good StatCast data. And facing the Pirates in 36 plate attempts, they have a 226 average versus him. So he's done well. He's cheap. I kind of get it if you want to pay up for some bats.
All right. So speaking of bats, let's get to our stack report for today and tell you where people are headed for their stacks. High owned stacks for today. The first one is going to be the Cubs going up against Reds righty Graham Ashcraft. Now he's got a 3.27 ERA, 2.35 opponent average, but on the road he's a little bit worse. 4.24 ERA. And righties are actually hitting him pretty hard at a 2.84 clip. So I can kind of see the upside here, especially with Wrigley playing like a home run derby field today.
Yeah, and if you remember back to when they faced the Padres a couple weeks ago, it was very similar weather conditions, and we had a ton of offense for that series. So I would kind of expect similar today just based on the hitting weather. Yeah. Ashcraft has been good, though. 3.73 FIP, 0.9 home runs per 9. He has good StatCast data. Only 33% soft contact, which is a really high soft contact number, and 22% hard contact. Also, he's a ground ball pitcher, 55% ground balls, but he does have reverse splits, and he's been much worse versus righties.
Okay.
So if you do want to use the Cubs, I would say probably attack him through the righties like Red Hot Wilson Contreras.
All right. Now let's look at the Brewers going up against JT Brubaker. The Pirates righty, who has a 4.14 ERA, a 2.54 opponent average, and in June giving up a 2.94 average there. So a little bit worse this month. Are you buying those Brewers bats for today?
Yeah, I mean, Brewers look fine. Brubaker's mid-4s FIP, 38% fly balls, 4.4 run total, which is a decent run total. And then in 56 plate attempts, they're only hitting 233 or 35 versus him, but there's a 333 ISO and 4 home runs in only 56 plate attempts. So those numbers are really good. They're at least seeing him well and hitting him hard. Okay. And then Milwaukee is the highest value stack. So for LineStar, McCutchen, Urias, Tellez, Taylor, Davis is the 5-man DraftKings stack that LineStar is liking.
All right, let's take a look at some low-owned stacks for today. We're going to start off with Toronto. They're going up against the Rays. It'll be Matt Whistler with an opener situation. So what do you like about the Blue Jays bats today besides the fact they've been hot lately? They
are the highest projected stack for LineStar today. Simply, Toronto's a very dangerous offense. Whistler isn't very good. It is a bullpen game. And add to that, Tampa Bay is short relievers because of the vaccination status. The game is in Toronto. They have a couple of their better relievers missing this whole series. So they're going to be short relievers and probably have to keep guys a little longer than they normally would.
Yeah.
So with that situation, I kind of like picking on them a little bit.
Sure. Especially with Blue Jays as hot as they are right now.
Yep.
Let's talk about the Reds going up against the Cubs. It's the other side of that Wrigley Field battle today. It's going to be the righty Kyle Hendricks on the hill for the Cubbies. Hendricks, he's done a little bit better, but he's still a guy who
up down.
Yeah, hasn't exactly been stellar this season. What do you see from him today against the Reds?
Hendricks, like you said, he's a very inconsistent pitcher. He is, when he's good, he's really good. When he's bad, he's really bad.
Yeah.
And he's allowing 1.6 home runs per 9, 36% hard contact, 36% fly balls, and a ton of barreled balls. And again, we have that really good hitting weather in Chicago. And the BVP numbers, 117 plate attempts. Cincinnati's hitting 351 with 9 home runs and a 361 ISO. A lot of that is due to Joey Votto, who has absolutely crushed him.
Yes. Love those stats right there. Let's talk about Tampa Bay going up against the Blue Jays lefty Yusei Kikuchi. He's the second lowest projected pitcher on LineStar today behind Whistler. And he's not an opener situation. Yeah. So basically the lowest. 5.08 ERA, 2.52 opponent average. He's given up 10 home runs in his last 3 starts. So that he's had a pair of home runs in each of his last 3 starts. Actually, 10 home runs this month. So just has been getting crushed lately.
Yeah, and that's really, I almost stopped at 2 low-owned guys today, or low-owned stacks, but I just couldn't because of how bad he is, or how bad he's been, sorry. He has over 11 FIP over his last 5, which league average is, did we look that up? It was like just below 5 or something like that. Anyways, so because of this, I had to mention him. 56% hard contact, 51% fly balls, tons of barreled balls, and a very high exit velocity with him. So, I mean, I honestly don't even know why Toronto's still using him as a starter at this point. He's been that bad. Yeah. So with all that, I just had to bring up old Tampa Bay stack.
It's at the Rogers Center. It's not at Tropicana, which is super pitcher friendly. So yeah. You got that one as well.
Yep.
Remember all of our stacks and projected pitcher, the ownership information, everything you need to know to optimize your daily fantasy lineup, you can find at LineStarApp.com. Sign up right now before football season starts because it's only $19.99 right now, so you can lock in that price. During football season, it will go up to $29.99, which is still a great deal, but we want you to lock in that $19.99 price right now, so we'll include the link below, so be sure to click on that. It is now time for our sleeper picks, and as you can see, we shrunk a little bit so that you can see the LineStar app right here. And this is how we pick our sleepers of the day. We just go in here and sort by this tab right here, value. And that spits out, there he is, Vogie, Daniel Vogelbach is $2,600. He's going up against Brewers righty Adrian Hauser. Hauser's got a 4.35 ERA. Against lefties, though, 296 average. Vogie is a lefty bat whose OPS versus righties is at 879, which is almost triple what he hits versus lefties. He's much better at home as well. This game's at PNC Park, where it is near 90 degrees, so great hitter weather. He also has 2 home runs over the past week. Hey, maybe we'll see a Vogelbaum today.
Maybe.
And now let's sort it for FanDuel. And we're just going to switch, if I can use my mouse correctly, scroll up, change the output to FanDuel, and then sort by value once again. I'll zoom in there. So we get Brian Reynolds, who's $2,800, going up against Brewers righty Adrian Hauser. He's got a 258 average on the season, batting .337 in the month of June. Against Hauser, Reynolds has a 267 average with a home run in 15 at-bats. So a great play
And he had 3 home runs yesterday. The fact that he's at 2,800 is wrong.
Yeah, see that top story right there. So very undervalued there for today. Those are our sleeper picks. And be sure to check out LineStar. See, we have all this information right here that you can check out and use for daily fantasy and also for prop bets as well. So be sure to check out LineStarApp.com. It is now time for our home run calls of the day. Tyler's going for 3 in a row.
Yep.
Big day for you.
See if I can get on fire. NBA Jam rules.
Who you got?
I am going with the hot bat of Wilson Contreras. Ashcraft has reverse splits. He has a 284 opponent batting average with a 460 slugging to righties. Meanwhile, Contreras is super hot. He's hitting 390 over the last week. And over the last month, 300 with 6 home runs. And I think he is going for his 7th tonight with the great hitting weather in Chicago.
Yes, that's exactly where I'm headed. That great hitting weather in Chicago. And I'm going Joey Votto. He's going up against Kyle Hendricks, who has the 7th highest home run per 9 rate in baseball. He's actually given up 10 home runs to lefty bats, and Votto's a lefty bat who has great numbers against Hendricks. Listen to this. A 921 slugging percentage with 5 home runs in 38 at-bats against Hendricks. The other part of this equation is the Cubs bullpen has the highest home run per 9 rate among any bullpen in Major League Baseball at 1.36. Got those winds blowing out 15 miles an hour in some cases. And temps in the high 80s. I'm going Votto with a bomb today at Wrigley.
He's going to do it. I like it. That's the one I wanted, but you beat me to it.
I should have given it to you because you're on a streak.
It's cool. I'll get it anyways.
You're so kind.
I'll get it anyways.
Let's get to our prop bets for today. Remember, you can play along with us with your prop bets by, all you have to do really, super easy, like, subscribe, comment below, and you're entered in. If both of us get our prop picks right, then you can win $60 if you are randomly selected. All of our picks are available at Prize Picks, so you can also play along as well on Prize Picks. The link is below. New users who deposit at least $10 can get their deposit matched for up to $100. So it's a really great deal there to get you going. And prop picks for today. Tyler, where are you headed?
I am going to Chicago with the Prize Pick over 0.5 home runs, and it is Wilson Contreras, Christopher Morel, and Ian Happ. One of them needs to hit a home run, and we're cashing.
I think that's an easy one. Like, I love that Prize Picks does that. They'll group together and just one of these guys is going to hit a home run.
One of them's going to do it. At
that hitter-friendly weather today at Wrigley Field, man, it could be home run derby there. And that's why I'm going Reds, Joey Votto over 1.5 bases. Lefty bat going up against Kyle Hendricks, who fares much worse against lefties. He gives up a 929 OPS to lefties. Keep in mind, MLB average for that stat is around 700, so that's much worse. And Votto has great numbers against Hendricks, 395 average in 38 at-bats. And Cubs bullpen is really bad. In fact, the 4th highest ERA. As I mentioned earlier, they give up the most home runs. Votto has great career numbers at Wrigley Field, a 317 average there in his career. We got those hitter-friendly conditions there. So I feel like this was one that I researched today, and it was like everything was checking the box for all of the stats. That
Votto's in a great spot.
Votto is in a good spot today. So we like that. Remember to like, subscribe, comment. Who are you going for, either a home run call or what's your prop bet for today? Let us know in the comments. And again, you could win up to $60. So just comment below. As always, be sure to check out LineStarApp.com. And good luck to you guys in daily fantasy and your prop bets today. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Have a good one, guys. Thanks.